girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Jai Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Srila Prabhupada ki. I'm getting hot in here, huh? It goes from winter to summer quick. Hey, come here. Good job. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading Bhagavad Gita as it is. This picture is perfect because what we're seeing is the conversation is taking place between Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa. This text 25? Text 25. Observing the armies, Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti
bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti
bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ
sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān
uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān
samavetān kurūn iti
samavetān kurūn iti bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti bhīṣma-droṇa-pramukhataḥ sarveṣāṁ ca mahī-kṣitām uvāca Pārtha paśyaitān samavetān kurūn iti Bhīṣma, grandfather Bhīṣma. Drona, the teacher Drona. Pramukhataḥ, in front of. Sarveṣāṁ, all. Cha, also. Mahī-kṣitām, chiefs of the world. Uvāca, said. Pārtha, O son of Pṛthā. Paśya, just behold. Etān, all of them. Samavetān, assembled. Kurūn, the members of the Kuru dynasty. Iti, thus. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, by Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. In the presence of Bhīṣma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Pārtha, all the Kurus assembled here. Repeat after me. In the presence of Bhīṣma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Pārtha, all the Kurus assembled here. Srila Prabhupada's purport. As the Supersoul of all living entities, Lord Kṛṣṇa could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Hṛṣīkeśa in this connection indicates that he knew everything. And the word Pārtha, or the son of Kuntī, or Pṛthā, is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Pṛthā, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Kṛṣṇa mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Kṛṣṇa never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pṛthā. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. Om jnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam jena tasmai shri guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistang Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dedati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśyaitān Deshatarane Jai Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here we're seeing Arjuna asking Kṛṣṇa to bring the chariot in front of all the army to see the situation, how it's developing. Although Arjuna was willing to make compromises and adjustments, this Duryodhana was not willing to budge even an inch. So the Bhagavad Gita, Kṛṣṇa speaking, he, as Hṛṣīkeśa, knows everything. He arranged the entire battle when he appeared in this world. Paritranaya sadhunang vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sangstarptartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He wanted to reestablish religious principles. Even at the end of Dwapara Yuga, during a time when people were much more religious and they were not as degraded as they are in Kali Yuga, there was still demonic forces, and just went through Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga. There was opulent deity worship, but still the kings, evang parampara praptam imang rajarshayo vidu, that this knowledge that Kṛṣṇa spoke to the sun god millions of years ago, he came to reestablish again the principles of Bhagavad Gita. And taking birth in this world, we might think that Kṛṣṇa can just twinkle his nose or just, snap his fingers and everything falls into place. But Kṛṣṇa doesn't interfere with our minute independence. We all have freedom to choose and to act in this world. And due to that minute independence that we've given up, our service to Kṛṣṇa, our association with Kṛṣṇa, we forgot Kṛṣṇa. Because everyone in this world is looking for happiness separate from Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa is the supreme enjoyer, and he enjoys with his devotees. He enjoys with his unlimited associates in the spiritual kingdom, Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan, as servitors, as friends, as parents, as lovers. So many wonderful relationships are taking place by the Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated souls. We were also, at one point, like Nitya Siddha, but somehow, due to misuse of our minute independence, it's not that we've always been Nitya Baddha, but like one's a free person, right? But when he breaks the law, he's no longer a free person, he's a criminal. And that criminal is put into the prison, into jail. My son's a policeman, so, we can relate to that. And so Kṛṣṇa has his police force. The demigods, they're providing the sunlight, they're providing the rain and all the grains and fruits and flowers, all the necessities of human beings to survive in this world. And when people during different ages are civilized, they follow varnashram dharma, sanatan dharma. There are kings who actually administrate and rule according to God's laws, because they're rajarshis, they're actually pure devotees of the Lord, and they're protecting the citizens. And the brahmanas are genuinely studying, performing sacrifices, religious duties, all the necessities, just like the head is thinking what to do, what not to do, and how to execute that. So the brahmanas are giving guidance, the intelligence, and performing sacrifices and various sanskaras, garbhodhan sanskara, and even after birth there are so many purificatory processes necessary to the forefathers, and also worship and appreciation of the demigods for supplying necessities of life. So kshatriyas, vaishyas, shudras, it's very systematic. And here, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, Kṛṣṇa performs his wonderful pastimes. He brings Braj Dham, he brings Nanda and Yashoda and the cowherd boys and the cowherd girls. The gopis can't go anywhere without the gopis, or the cowherd boys, or Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, because he likes to be chastised, isn't it? You know, when Mother Yashoda's chasing with a stick in her hand that you've been so naughty, and Krishna's rubbing his eyes and the mascara's everywhere, and he's breathing very heavily and running out of fear of Mother Yashoda. He takes great pleasure. Although he's the master of everyone, he's Hṛṣīkeśa, the master of the senses, he knows everything, but in order to have variety in pastimes, he has unlimited living beings. Like a wealthy, very, very wealthy man, he may have many servants, many assistants, many enterprises, many things are going on spontaneously, effortlessly, without his personal involvement, just by his power. So imagine the Shakti of Kṛṣṇa, the power of Kṛṣṇa. So Kṛṣṇa came to re-establish religious principles, and Arjuna, his eternal associate, he comes along with Kṛṣṇa. Even when Kṛṣṇa was giving this knowledge to the sun god, Vivasvan, many millions of years ago, Arjuna was present. So the scene is being set now. Now all the warriors are in the battlefield. So naturally, people are aligning with the materialists, the scientists, those who are after sense gratification, mental speculators, philosophers, and mystics, and people who claim to have knowledge and give guidance to. There are so many books. You go to the library or you look up on the internet, so many self-help books are there, you know. But what is the real help? If one is going to get old and one is going to ultimately get diseased and forced to die, not that we choose to die, but we never die. That's the real beauty. The beauty is that we're eternal, ever existing, undying. We're not slain when the body is slain. So there'll be many arguments in the next chapter when Krishna is telling Arjuna, why are you so worried about your grandfather Bhīṣma? He's already an old man. If he dies, he'll get a new body. And if you're like the scientists or those who claim that life comes from a combination of chemicals or material ingredients, that there is no soul, then who's worried about loss of a few chemicals or a few ingredients, like a little bubble in the ocean? Who's worried about a little bubble that bursts? So all the arguments that persons may have for looking for power, for enjoyment, for happiness in this material world, these are all discussed in Bhagavad Gita. First, setting the basic understanding that dehinosmin yata dehe komarang yovanang jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatra namuyati. The embodied soul continually passes from boyhood to youth to old age. And even at the time of death, the self-realized soul is not bewildered by that change. Najayate Mariyate Vakadachin Nayang Bhutva Bhavata Nabhavuya Ajonitya Shashvato Yang Purano Nahanyate Hanyamane Sharire. For the soul is never birth nor death, nor having once been, does he ever cease to exist. He's eternal, ever existing, undying, primeval, cannot be cut, cannot be burned, cannot be withered by the wind. So the living entity is just like Kṛṣṇa, Satchidananda, Vigraha, eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. But we've forgotten all that. And the mind is always doubting, oh God, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. And, all I know is what I experience in front of me, what I feel, and what in my mind, whatever makes sense to me is what I want to. No one likes to be obedient to authority. There's always that rebellion against authority in governments, in temples, many places. But what is all the way to the fourth chapter, Tadviri pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeksyanti te jnanam jnanas tattvadarshana. First of all, they have to understand that I'm not the body, I'm an eternal spirit soul. I'm lamenting here, I'm getting worried about fighting with my relatives, and if we fight with our relatives, then there'll be a dharma or disruption in the system because the women will be unprotected, there'll be unwanted progeny. Many excuses are being given by Arjuna, but Krishna's surprised. How you're acting like this? You're my father Vasudeva, Kunti's, her sister, they're cousins, we're cousins, the same blood relative, if you want to call it like that. And he was surprised, you're kshatriya, you're a warrior. You need to uphold religious principles by doing your duty, perform your duty properly. So duty, trying to understand what is our duty, what is everyone's duty. Our duty is to awaken our lost relationship with Kṛṣṇa. Our duty is to get free from the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease, and awaken our spiritual life. So Arjuna, he'll be asking many questions, but Krishna is telling that try to learn the truth by approaching a bona fide spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively. Render service. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge onto you because he has seen the truth. So we're not just groping in the dark or following somebody's speculations. It may be like this, it may be like that, or Darwinian theory that many, hundreds of thousands of years ago we were monkeys, and the monkey stood up straight and started looking more like a human being, and after a while became a human being. Most people don't believe that, but they have no other recourse, so they want to fall back on the speculations of so-called scientists or maybe poets or whatever they are. They know. But the best way, and the only way, is by the Guru Parampara. Kṛṣṇa, he's Bhagavan, the most renounced, the wealthiest, the wisest, the strongest. He has all the attributes, and he's full of knowledge, doesn't have imperfect senses, he doesn't make mistakes, doesn't have a cheating propensity. He's speaking the crystal truth, the absolute truth. And we feel, well, why does the government make a prison house anyway? Because there are those who are bent on breaking the law and causing disturbance to other free citizens in defiance of government. So Kṛṣṇa, he's in the spiritual kingdom, and also he comes regularly. You see the scheduled incarnations in Bhagavatam. There's a chapter, isn't it? Scheduled incarnations of the Lord. He comes in various forms and various times. Now Kṛṣṇa comes himself, the Supreme Lord. Ete Changsakala Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇastu Bhagavan Swayam. He's the original From Kṛṣṇa comes all the incarnations, even the Chaturvyuha and Narayan expansions, what to speak of Mahavishnu and the unlimited universes, and then Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Kshirodakshay Vishnu. He expands himself to enter each and every universe. He expands himself to enter into each and every heart of every living being for guidance, because the parent never leaves the child alone. I remember one time we were doing some book distribution in the mall, and my older son Vishwambhar, he must have been 3 or 4, somehow he escaped. He ran off somewhere, in the mall, you get distracted for a moment, and then we're looking everywhere, chasing him down, trying to find, so much anxiety. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And you want to get the police, you want to make announcements, you do anything and everything, find my child. Prabhupada tells one story, somewhere he was, not sure exactly where, but a little monkey came through the bars of the window. And then he couldn't get back out, and the mother monkey went completely crazy, screaming on the bars. And so we can imagine Krishna's our father, and it's not like he's an insensitive, I have so many living entities, what do I care about this little one over here? What do I care about Panchagauda? Who cares? No. Krishna's that loving and that personable that he comes, you want to, when a child insists again and again and again, I want my independence. Prabhupada often said that he was also very stubborn. He wouldn't go to school. So they had to actually have a assistant or someone to take Prabhupada to school, drag him. And Prabhupada, he saw a couple of guns in the window. He told his father, I want that gun. Little child. So he got him the gun. He thought, I have 2 hands. I want the other gun too. No. I want the other gun. He fell on the ground and started beating his head on the ground practically. And okay. So we become so stubborn and so desirous of our independence and rebellious mood. I got a beautiful place for you to go. Go to the material world. You can start with heavenly bodies. You can become like Brahma or, many demigods, very powerful, long life, a lot of opportunity for enjoyment in the gardens, all the fantasies that people have, so much enjoyment can be there. But the problem is, Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartano Arjuna. From the highest planet, whether you're living 100,000, 1,000,000 years, 1,000,000,000 years, still death is coming. And that fear, the fear factor is there. Everyone is fearful. Everyone is in anxiety. And people may claim, no, I'm not fearful. I've lived my life. But on the verge of immediate danger, I was in New Dwarka, Los Angeles. I think it was 1993 or 94. Believe it or not, I was on the altar. And I just blew the conch shell to do Artik to Gornitai. A big earthquake came. All the pillars are breaking, and we had to secure the deities, and some people had to jump out the window, and the ground is moving and everything. It was a very heavy earthquake, and you could see the fear factor immediately set in. And in a battlefield, also, the atheists are not really present, because when the fear of life and death is there, people pray, please take me out of this dangerous position, and I will serve, I will do nicely. Just like they say, an advanced soul in the womb of the mother experiences the great inconvenience, being packed, unable to move, bent up, and so many things happening in the body. And please let me get out of this encagement, and I will serve you. But once you come into the bright sunshine and all the relatives, how cute, how adorable that child is, and everyone is handling and taking good care, we somehow forget. And then we start thinking that there's some happiness, there's some enjoyment in this world. Arjuna didn't want to fight. He said, I'll go to the forest. Even if they want to fight me, I won't have any weapons. I don't care. They can kill me. What good is a kingdom without my relatives, with my friends, and my grandfather, my teachers, my fathers-in-laws, and my sons and cousins? He saw friends everywhere. He saw teachers and superiors, and he became totally in anxiety, bewildered. His skin was burning. His mind was reeling. He dropped the Gandiva bowl. Although he was standing, he sat down and said he also was crying, because they said out of compassion, he's such a great devotee, he didn't want to obviously cause such harm and damage and disrespect for superiors. But Kṛṣṇa was not falling for that, because it was already accomplished. Kṛṣṇa knew everything. The battle's going to take place, and all these kings who sided on the wrong side, they're also going to be. But somehow, everyone who saw Kṛṣṇa, everyone on the battlefield of Kurukshetra said they achieved their spiritual bodies, liberation. This is Kṛṣṇa's great mercy. Even if he kills the demons, they get so much benefit. What to speak of those who devote their lives and dedicate themselves to the process of bhakti. Bhaktya mama vijanati yavanyas chasmi tattvatah. So in other ages, the process of self-realization was very detailed, and how long did Valmiki Muni meditate? For Ramayana, 60,000 years, they say. Valmiki Muni meditated, and he was having a lifetime of 100,000 years, but they could sit and meditate. Even Lord Brahma, when he was created by Kṛṣṇa from the lotus stem, here we have to think that, how we can believe all these stories. But the details of creation and all the great acharyas, they have the same version, that Kṛṣṇa created this world. Kṛṣṇa sprouted a lotus from his navel, and Lord Brahma was born. And Lord Brahma was bewildered. What to do? What is my purpose? Tapa. So he performed austerities. He meditated. Kṛṣṇa was very happy. And Kṛṣṇa gave the empowerment to create the world. And then all the embodied souls from the last creation who have to continue their karmana daiva because of their good and bad deeds, they have good and bad results. Some are given godly bodies, human bodies, demonic bodies, animal bodies, higher planets, lower planets. The universe fills up again with the conditioned souls who are on this merry-go-round journey at the amusement park of the material world, looking for happiness in every corner, unable to find any happiness. There's a reflection of happiness. You say, how's no happiness? Look, you get some nice prasad, you have nice friends, the weather is good, you can go out for a ride, you can see the beautiful birds and flowers, and smell the beautiful roses. This is a reflection of the spiritual world, just to let you know that there is great happiness, great joy, and everlasting life in the spiritual realm. Naturally, the reflection is there because it exists in the spiritual world. But how can one be happy if you know you're going to die? So you've worked hard your whole life, you have a desire, by your own endeavor, by your own strength and ability, and you can make good money, take care of family, take care of so many responsibilities. But that's all just a few flickering years. And then as you get old and no longer can produce, what do they do with old animals? They send them to the slaughterhouse. What do they do with old people? They send them to the old age homes. Sometimes, they stay at home and you take care of them, and you think, well, no, I have a sense of duty. I love my parents. I'm going to take care of them to the last moment, which is good, very nice. We have to do that. Actually, it says one who doesn't respect and serve the parents, there's also hellish planets for those as well. So we have to be sensitive and dutiful. But now, we somehow, by good fortune, agyata sukriti, have come under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. And although there were so many Bhagavad Gitas, previously, what books to read? Thoreau, Emerson, I don't know if Einstein wrote books. I mean, so many philosophies were there, so many yogis who have taken. I was a little bit amazed when I was reading about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered the 6 Goswamis, and there was so much Kṛṣṇa bhakti and sankirtan going on. And then just a short time, a few hundred years after, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was trying to find where's the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where's Vrindavan Dham, where's Govardhan, and so Bhaktivinoda Thakur, again, this is all Krishna's plan. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to the Lord to send a ray of Vishnu, just like Advaita Acharya. Although the Lord, he is Mahavishnu himself, he was praying, Krishna, you personally come here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had many purposes. He wanted to again inaugurate the Sankirtan mission of chanting Krishna's holy name, so we can all wake up. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In these names, Krishna's invested all his potencies, all his energies. And the Shakti, the power is there to cleanse our hearts. But our desires are very deep-rooted. They've been with us for a long, long time. This false ego, the mind is trying to satisfy the demands of the false ego. And the intelligence is also accomplice in this, because the intelligence makes the arrangements. How can I be happy? How can I enjoy in this world? But we have guidance. We have a true father, a true teacher, a true guide. The Guru is a representative of Krishna to help put us back on the path of self-realization. And this is what's going to manifest in the form of Bhagavad Gita. That even though we often heard Bhagavad Gita as a preliminary study of the science of self-realization, Prabhupada said there's no need for any other book. If you study and read Bhagavad Gita every day, or hear attentively and follow the order of Guru, you can achieve perfection. We've often heard that story of the South Indian Brahmana who was illiterate, and his friends were making fun, Brahmana, what are you doing? Because he's handling Bhagavad Gita and showing some emotion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Brahmana, what you're doing? Oh, my Guru Maharaj ordered me to read all 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita every day, but I'm illiterate, but I'm a priest. He goes, but I see you're crying, you have feeling and sentiment by, meditating on Bhagavad Gita. When I envision how Kṛṣṇa became a charioteer for Arjuna, became a servant of his devotee, just makes me cry how loving, how compassionate Kṛṣṇa is. So Kṛṣṇa takes pleasure in carrying the shoes of Nanda Maharaj, takes pleasure in giving Yashoda pleasure. Also, when cowherd boys playing with them and wrestling with them and joking with all his other friends. So here Arjuna, he'll take shelter of Kṛṣṇa. He'll recognize that Karpanya dosho he bhava, that now I'm confused about my duty. I don't know what to do. I'm going to surrender to you. Please instruct me, guide me. And this is what we need to do. We need to actually get fixed on the platform of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, and increasing that. We need to hear more by reading out loud, hearing it, hearing daily, Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya. Because Kṛṣṇa is manifest in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. He's incarnated in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam by hearing the words and the discussions in Srimad Bhagavatam, the glorifications and the various, it's cultured, it's designed to help us unlock our entrapment of this material world. So, hear Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavad Gita, speak Bhagavad Gita. Hear Srimad Bhagavatam, glorify Bhagavatam. In the company of devotees, that's emphasized, that by having association of devotees, because imagine you have 20, 30, 50, 100, or thousands of people who are all hearing Bhagavatam, trying to chant, working on themselves, and in friendship, encouraging one another, isn't it? Once we start doing something wrong, our friends immediately tell us. And sometimes we get into some disturbing, conflictive relationships, but it's also a lesson, how can I love everyone? How can I see Kṛṣṇa in everyone's heart? How can I actually, and even though this friends and enemies is inevitable, there's always people who, they thrive on finding fault or conflictive situations. So we use our intelligence, we avoid those who are not conducive to our Kṛṣṇa consciousness, but not in a negative way. But also, we want to serve those who are advanced devotees. Who's an advanced devotee? How do you recognize a devotee? Today, we did a little class at the school here. They asked, how do you recognize who is a devotee? One newspaper reporter was asking Srila Prabhupada in an interview, how do you recognize a devotee? Prabhupada said, he's a perfect gentleman. In a few words. Meaning he has all good qualities. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvagunas tatra samasate sura. That all the demigods, they're actually devotees. And even, not that we worship the demigods, but they're devotees, and to pray, to appreciate devotees is good. Just like the gopis were worshipping Katyayani, and there are many other great personalities who may have performed worship of the demigods, and even Lord Ram was worshipping Lord Shiva. It's so many examples in the Vedic culture that Trinada pisu nichena tarora pisu hishnu namani namanadena kirtaniya sadahari. That we're trying somehow or other to recognize that we're very tiny, insignificant servants, but we have duty to perform. Whenever Prabhupada is complimented or praised, oh, you've done so much for spreading Kṛṣṇa consciousness, Prabhupada would always say, I have no qualifications. My only qualification is that I'm carrying out the order of my spiritual master, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotarasata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Even when the reporter asked Prabhupada what his guru's name was, Prabhupada gave the full title. Person is there, wow, that's quite a name there, isn't it? Yes, devotees of the Lord, Krishna's happier when we serve the devotees than when we serve him. Not that we should neglect Kṛṣṇa, because Kṛṣṇa is being glorified by those devotees, so it's all in the family. So as Bhagavad Gita progresses on, for the battle scene is set up, Arjuna wanted to, okay, we're ready for this battle, but he was feeling great concern and compassion for all the friends and relatives. So all of us have feeling that I have duty, I have to take care of my family, my responsibilities, my mother and father, my children, my grandchildren, the home. So many needs are there. Have to marry off my children, isn't it? You got to work hard. You got to make money, isn't it? Business. Everybody is. You see that they're not ready to give it up. Prabhupada often says, he told Gandhi, he wrote a few letters that now, you speak of Bhagavad Gita. Now you should preach Bhagavad Gita, and give up this political endeavor. Even that day when he was going to some reading, some scriptural reading, he was killed by one of his own men. So this is the situation. That we're all going to get old and die. So before that time comes, even if we're old or young, simply we need to chant Krishna's holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the medicine, isn't it? Golokya Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. From Goloka, from the spiritual world, Premadan, the treasure of prema, love, is the holy name. Kali Kalir Dharma Krishna Nam Sankirtan. This is the religion for this age. But we need to hear the beauty of Krishna. We need to hear the beauty of the spiritual world. We need to see the qualities of Vaishnavas, devotees, and the beauty of living a devotional life. How to always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And whatever work we perform, whatever sacrifice we perform, everything should be done for the pleasure of Krishna. He's the owner of all the worlds. All sacrifice is meant for His pleasure. He's a friend of everyone. And even though we may at times be feeling depressed, oh, I'm not advancing, or I have too many troubles in my life, troubles will be there. Just look at all the hurdles and all the difficulties that Srila Prabhupada had to undergo, even in his business and family life, and also his attempts to spread Krishna consciousness in India and print his books and have people help him to you have 3 or 4 children, give me one child and make him a perfect Brahmana. No, Swami, he needs to work. He has to become an engineer, a doctor. I'll send him to the West, he'll make good money, take good care of the family. No, this too much praying is not good. Even when Prabhupada got sick, it said, I think the old man is chanting or praying too much. He should get out and walk a little bit. But Prabhupada took it seriously. He did start his morning walks like that. So we should stay healthy. Health is very important. Because without health, it's very difficult to perform our duties in Krishna consciousness. And service is very valuable. It's essential. But hearing the Gita, this is service. Just by sitting in the chair, you're performing service. I'm trying to somehow say something to glorify Krishna and Arjuna, or hopefully inspire all of you, so that we can all increase our hearing and chanting and our patience, despite the mind. I mean, what does Srila Bhaktisiddhanta say about the mind? At nighttime, what do? You have to beat it. What are we beating with at nighttime? Is it the broomstick? And in the morning time, what are we beating it with? Shoe. Yeah. So you get up in the morning, immediately got to beat the mind. Okay, I don't want to go to Mangalarti. No, you got to go to Mangalarti. I don't want to take a shower. No, you got to take it. You got to get ready. And sometimes it's difficult. The mind disturbs us, and we have many desires, and every day, routine. But as we take our medicine, just like the jaundice, when the sugar candy we're taking, although it's the medicine, it tastes very bitter, and we think, I gotta take that bitter medicine. But by following the direction of the doctor, of Srila Prabhupada, our eternal Father, Guru, by systematic hearing and chanting and association of devotees, avoiding the prohibited sinful activities, trying to somehow be humble, tolerant, and see the beauty in everyone, that Krishna is in every living being. He's within the animals. Some Vaishnavas offering obeisance to the dogs. So it's not, what's a dog? It's just the covering of an eternal spirit soul, same as we have a spirit soul that covers us. And also Prabhupada gives the example of a person in a car, a moto, he's in some car and somebody's in a rickshaw, or, hey Tanga, get out of the way. I'm a moto, he's a rickshaw. it's like we start identifying with the vehicle, with the external covering. And, we think, oh, I'm a Brahmana, you're a Shudra, or I'm a man, you're a woman, or, or I'm American, and you're Chinese, and this one's African. And people, unfortunately, are very much conditioned by the temporary identification with the body, the skin color, the place of birth is worshipable. Oh, my religion is Christian or Muslim or Hindu, or I can't follow some Hindu God. But God, like the sunshine, is meant for everyone. There's not a Hindu sun or Christian sun or Jewish sun. The sunshine is nourishing everyone. So Kṛṣṇa has many names. He has names for every religion, every culture. But Kṛṣṇa happens to be his original name. And we're very fortunate to be in Bharatvarsh. We're even more fortunate to be in Sri Vrindavan Dham. We're so lucky to have Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee, Brijabasi, who's given us the essence of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, created this beautiful temple where we can worship and see the deities and chant the holy name together, and have festivals, prasadam. So many things are available. So the challenges and trials and tribulations we have to tolerate and see the good and see the bright future. We have to look for the future, the shreyas and preyas, isn't it? Which one's good, which one's bad? Which one's shreyas? Shreyas is the beneficial activity, and preyas is immediate gratification. So we may think, I'm not going to go to school, I want to just play all day. Parents say, no, not a good idea. You got to go to school, because later on, by going to school, then you can have a good life. So we have to perform a little austerity and keep regulated. Stay on the boat. Don't jump into the ocean. The sharks are waiting for us anyway. What's a better place? A little trouble on the boat, or being a meal for the sharks? It's common sense. So there's no happiness in the material world. And all the endeavors of the materialists is ultimately going to lead to frustration and suffering. But a little suffering or a little bit of austerity will give us that parang drishtva nivartate. You'll experience a higher taste. Somehow Kṛṣṇa will give us that taste to bring us back home, back to the spiritual kingdom. And that's where we belong. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we have a few minutes if anyone has a question or comment. Something. Yes, Prabhu.
You mentioned about the scheduled incarnations.
Yes.
So all those incarnations, they come in random, or in what manner?
Yeah.
How to-
No, actually, he's Trikalagya, meaning that everything is very systematic. We don't know how Kṛṣṇa knows everything, past, present, and future, and he appears as Matsya avatar to perform a certain duty, to bring the Vedas back and save the Vedas. And then also we have Lord Varaha, and to save the earth, and Kurma, and then Parasuram, and so many wonderful incarnations, and every one has a purpose. Again, just guiding everything back to reestablishing religious principles, and giving facilities for those who want to surrender to the Lord and come back home. But at the same time, those who are entrapped in the prison house of material life, if they're fortunate, they can have a introduction to all these incarnations and see their purpose for incarnating, basically to guide us and help us along our path of devotional service. So everything is calculated. That's how we know also the incarnations. It's shastric, Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. We're not blindly following. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was predicted. Lord Kṛṣṇa and Balaram's appearance was also scheduled, and their teachings are here, right here, Bhagavad Gita. Krishna's personally speaking to us. through Prabhupada's translation. Yes, Mata?
Just one question about Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Chaitanya. So Kṛṣṇa comes once in the day of Brahma, maybe one Kali Yuga out of 1,000. So what happens in other Kali Yuga? How do they manage so much sin and without Lord Chaitanya?
They manage to suffer. The teachings, like when Krishna appears, his teachings are carried on by the kings and the sun god and the different rulers of the universe, and the duration may go for quite some time. Like, in Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, there's so many cycles of the 4 yugas, and then the Lord only appears every 1,000 cycles? One day of Brahma.
28.
Huh?
Once in a day of Brahma.
Once in a day of Brahma. That's a long time, right? Built like, we can't even imagine. So it's a good question, but that's what I'm saying, that we're having Bhagavad Gita as it is, whereas others have to go from the kings and the scriptures and how society is set up. In other ages, generally it's the people have good qualities and tendencies not towards ignorance and passion, but in Kali Yuga, it's full-on passion and ignorance, and there's no idea of a godly king or genuine religious principles. So it's like a prison house, a lot of suffering. The Lord makes various arrangements, although He's appearing, but there are empowered living beings who are giving guidance for those who are fortunate and need that guidance. Others are meant to spend their time in solitary confinement for being bad. And not just punishment, because we want to be here voluntarily. We've chosen this. And although one may be suffering in the prison house saying, well, I'd rather be a free person, okay, then you have to be law-abiding. No, I don't want to do that. Well, then you have to stay in prison. So, we got to make a choice. Either we're law-abiding or we're criminals, one of the two. It's a good question, though. We'll have to think about that one. Anyone you want to suggest any solution? Anyone else have a question or comment? It's right time for the artik. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Go Premanandi Hari Go. Hari Go. I can't figure out if it's cold or hot or what it is out here. You have to just, in the morning time, you have to bundle up because it's kind of cold in the morning.